Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. It's about 5 ways of optimizing our English competency. Let me begin with introducing the 5 strategies that can be used to enhance English competency. The 5 strategies are actually adopted from the initial letters of my nickname. They are called LINDA strategies. Let's start with the first strategy, that is L strategy. L here refers to learn English every day. If you learn English, it's not enough to learn it only once a week or even once a month. You have to learn it every day. Don't limit yourself to a certain amount of time when you learn English. It doesn't mean that you have to spend every single hour or minute to learn English per day, but you manage to find some time between your hectic schedule to study English. In other words, you should be able to devote your time to a maximum level of English learning. The next strategy is called I strategy. What is it? It is to involve yourself in a lot of English exposure. Once you decide to learn English, you should think of getting involved in any activity that can help sharpen your English competency. You can read lots of English books and memorize as many new words as you can. You can also watch English movies or programs on TV or YouTube channel, or you can also listen to some English songs. Believe me, your vocabulary will increase more and more. Next, you can also create an English speaking community where you can practice your speaking skill. I think it's a good way of maintaining your English proficiency, especially in terms of active skills at the maximum level. In addition to an English-speaking community, it's better if you can make friends with native speakers, since they could be the perfect choice for you to learn English effectively. Okay, let's continue with the next strategy, that is N strategy. It refers to nourish your goals. Generally speaking, before we start learning English, I'm sure each of us has our own realistic goals. Let's say, for example, your goal might be to be able to write in English, or to be able to stay abroad, or to be able to communicate with native English speakers. My advice is always keep reminding yourself of those realistic goals. By doing that, you always have the passion or the desire to learn English. You can do this by writing your goals in a certain notebook, which can serve you as a reminder. For example, you may write, I want to watch 1 film a day, or I want to write 1 or 2 or more new sentences per day. Now, here comes the 4th strategy. It is D strategy. It is about dealing with problems tactfully. There is no doubt that in learning English, we will always encounter some problems. These problems may vary from one person to another person. One person may have difficulties in listening. The other one can have problems with reading English books. Whatever problems you may be dealing with, try to handle them wisely. You can start by learning simple expressions related to everyday conversation. Also, you have to pay attention to the use of language, such as phrasal verbs, idioms, proverbs, and slangs. Okay, let me come to phrasal verbs first. What is actually meant by phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are actually idiomatic phrases which consist of the verb and another element. The examples of phrasal verbs are look after, hand in, get on, and so on. So if you say she is looking after her mother, it means that she is taking care of her mother. Or when someone says, please hand in your keys when you leave the hotel, it means that you have to give your keys when you leave the hotels. That is about phrasal verbs. Now, what about idioms? An idiom is actually a group of words that has a particular meaning that is different from the meaning of each word. The examples of idioms are a piece of cake, which means easy. So if you say something is a piece of cake, it means that it is easy. The other example is it's raining cats and dogs. It means that it's raining hard, it's raining heavily. And then we come to proverbs. A proverb is actually a simple saying that expresses a truth. In English, we have lots of examples of beautiful proverbs. I'll give you one example. I think this is the most famous one. The proverb says, every cloud has a silver lining. It means there is hope or something good to be found in every bad situation. Okay, now what about slangs? Slangs are actually informal language. So you may use slangs when you speak English. So slangs are commonly used in spoken English. The examples are the word loo, for example, which means toilet. So if someone says, I'm going to the loo, it means that I'm going to the toilet. And then another example, I'm pissed off. It means that I'm angry. Okay, and then you also have to pay attention to pronunciation. Pronunciation is very important in English because if you mispronounce a certain word, then native speakers cannot understand what you are trying to say. So one good way of studying pronunciation is by using tongue twister. Tongue twister is a sequence of words that are difficult to pronounce, especially quickly. I've got one example here. She sells seashells by the seashore. So if this sentence is pronounced quickly, it is very difficult indeed. So make sure you know how to pronounce each word correctly. You can consult your dictionary to find out the correct pronunciation. And then also you have to pay attention to the grammatical structure. If you want to speak or to write English correctly, you have to pay attention to the grammar. You have to learn grammar. So when you say, I go to school yesterday, it is grammatically wrong. Why? Because the time signal is yesterday. So you should say, I went to school yesterday. Okay, and then we almost come to the end. It's the last strategy. It is called A strategy. A here refers to attempt to be the best. Okay, it means that you have to avoid being lazy to learn. Well, what I'm trying to say is you have to strive for the best. Don't be pessimistic about your English competency. Keep telling yourself that I want to do my best to learn English. Keep motivating yourself. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And last but not least, Keep practicing because practice makes perfect. To sum up what I've just elaborated so far, the 5 ways of improving our English competency are LINDA. What are they? 1. Learn English every day. 2. Involve yourself in a lot of English exposure. 3. Nourish your goals. 4. Deal with every problem tactfully. 5. Attempt to be the best. Thank you for watching.